Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. In today's video we're going to look at getting started with the Dweghom in Conquest the Last Argument of King using the faction's 2025 Supercharged starter set as a starting point. Big thanks to Parabellum Wargames today who have made this video possible with their fantastic support. They've given us a discount affiliate code to use which will get you 10% off your purchases from the Parabellum Wargames e-store and also go a long way to help supporting the channel while you grab that discount for yourself as well. And so, leading the box set for the Dweghom is a Tempered Steel Shaper. This is a pretty darn cool model, one of my favourite Dweghom models. It's a Wizard 7 and can roll 7 dice when it's attempting to cast any of its magical spells, of which it has 3, that are generally all buffs or debuffs to various units on the table, either yours or your opponent's. It's got a ranged attack as well, a Barrage 5 range 18, no other special rules, but a nice amount of extra shooting. And a couple of special rules. First of all, indifference towards life means it's not affected by enemy interference. Furthermore, the regiment this character stand is currently attached to does not suffer the negative effects for refusing a drill. And finally, the character stand does not have a resolve characteristic and it always considered to has passed any of them, which is pretty cool. Now, you've also got Critical Field, where when this character stand chooses the enemy regiment they are currently attached to, or in an enemy regiment they are currently engaged with as the target of a spell during a spellcasting action, the spell is automatically successfully resolved as if you'd scored enough successes to do it, which is pretty cool. So, you know, easily being able to get spells off on the unit it's attached to, or into an enemy unit that's potentially attacking you is great. Meanwhile, you've got spells, as we've mentioned, and a supremacy ability called Ferric Embrace, where each time a regiment or character stand in the army spends an elemental potency marker, the regiment or character stand heals a wound for each elemental potency marker spent, up to a maximum of 3, a cool way to get a little extra bonus from some of your army rules. Next, we have a couple of units of Fireforged. These are a mainstay unit for our Tempered Steel Shaper, which is really cool. So we want to split these into 2 units to have the initial box set work as a starting force for us. They've got shields, which is really nice, boosting up to defense 4 in their front arc when fighting. But they've also got a ranged attack for 4 attacks per stand at a range of 14, and the armor piercing 2 special rule here, enabling them to ignore some of your opponent's defense saves. They can take a standard bearer as well, which as standard will give you the unstoppable special rule and a bonus +1 march to your second move of the turn. Unstoppable is going to get those rerolls for your failed charges. Not that this unit particularly will need them. Meanwhile, we then have the Magma Forge. These are a more dedicated combat unit with 4 attacks each stand and a clash of 3. The Aura of Death rule is really where they come into their own though. When your opponent draws command cards and starts activating units that are in combat with this unit, they'll actually take hits for activating near this unit, which is really cool, up to the value of the Aura of Death per stand. So if you've got 3 stands of these, they'll put in 12 hits from Aura of Death, which is really nice. They do also have Cleave 2, which allows you to ignore some of your opponent's armor as well, knocking off some of the benefits you can get, which is really nice, enabling them to just hit that little bit harder. And then lastly, we have the Steelforged. These are a brute regiment, a bunch of giant sort of mechanical creations. Their flux-powered draw event means until the end of the round you can choose one of the following bonuses on the units, either gain +2 clash or +2 attacks. This is a pretty cool sort of ability because the clash will take you up to 5, which means you could go potentially up to clash 6 with an inspire on your attacks there, or you've got 4 attacks that get +2 to 6. Definitely, you know, some options there on what you want to do. Generally, I feel if you've charged, you go up to clash 4, that's when you probably want to boost your attacks. If you're not charging, you're already stuck in combat, that's when I'd raise your clash to get your high attack volume through already. Now they do have a Cleave 1 as per standard, and they've also got Impact 2, so they do more damage on that charge as well. Once again, reason why you probably need the attacks here, just go through with the weight of dice. Fearsome as well is another special rule that they have, where enemy regiments in contact have to roll a d6 before being able to do combat rallies or combat reforms against them. Now, if we're looking where to go next, one of the cool things about this box set is it is pretty much almost at that 1,000 points right from the get-go. The only thing we're going to have to look is actually adding an officer model to the force, which is the Flamecaster. A couple of these in our Fireforge units will really help boost their power. What Flamecasters do is they give the unit that they are attached to as an officer the torrential fire special rule, so when a stand with a special rule performs a volley action against an enemy regiment within effective range, so half range, every 2 successful hits cause an additional hit, though those themselves won't cause more additional hits. And so our force today for the Dweghom is going to have our first warband led by the Tempered Steel Shaper, who will be our warlord. We've also given them the relic gifted in fire and the mastery focused as well to help with some of their spell casting actions. Now for regiments inside, we then have 2 units of Fireforged, both 3 stand strong with standard bearers and the Flamecaster officers for the torrential fire bonus. We then have a Magma Forged unit with 3 stands and a Steel Forged unit with 3 stands in it as well. We hope that this video was helpful in getting you started with Conquest: The Last Argument of Kings, and that it was able to give you some ideas and inspiration to start your own force in the game. If you have any other questions at all, please comment down below. And while you're there, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and join our Discord server to check out all our future Conquest: The Last Argument of Kings content.